The Hawaiian Comedian presents. I've been doing comedy for over 23 years. And I've been on the road. I've been in different cities. I've been different things like that.
We're here to talk about everything, man. The topics you talk about with your friends, your family, questions you got for us. Twitty and T.H.C.
Aloha.
Hasn't been long for us. I feel like I got a stranger across from me. I think that's T.H.C. Hello, is that you?
I don't know. I'm like
lost?
halfway. Yeah.
Do you even know where we're at? Are you functioning?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna get to that in a second. This is Twitty in the City. I'm Twitty. That's T.H.C. the Hawaiian comedian. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. You've been doing it. We've been loving it. T.H.C., you actually got to give a shout out to somebody that you've been wanting to shout out.
Man, you know, I
don't want to say it wrong. I just know it's got something with the word beard in it.
Yeah, that's my man. My man be out there in the UK, and he be in Britain out there, and he has this channel that I watch, and he goes through a bunch of stuff, and he's always talking to people on there. Down to earth guy, just the kind of guy when you watch him and stuff, and the kind of stories he's going through, and when he's going, his points of views and stuff that he makes on there is like there's a lot of stuff on there I agree with him with. And he's been watching our channel. He's been watching Twitty in the City.
That's what's up.
So he's been out there and like he's been commenting on the bottom. So yeah, my man, Wild Beard.
Wild
Beard. Yeah, that's my dude. Hey man, I appreciate all the support you've been showing the channel and you've been showing the show. Please keep on coming. You know I'll just pop in on his lives. That's what I did. That's how I met him. He was just going through.
Friends.
Yeah.
Got it.
He was just going through, and every time he comes on there and it's like certain issues and stuff that he deals with that he's going through right there, he brings it out into the open, and it's like it becomes a nice little discussion.
Yeah.
So yeah, big shout out to Wild Beard out there watching our stuff and supporting us. Appreciate you, guy.
T.H.C. out there live hopping. So if you ever see him in your feed,
yep.
If you say something, he gonna say something back. But yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We appreciate you. The community's growing and we loving it. I know if you watched last episode, you just hitting next. I was going to talk about an actual good time on my cruise, but
yes.
I can't do that.
Why?
Because I walked up in this studio and first of all, let me just preference T.H.C. has been gone for a week because his son had an official wedding for him and his wife. They were already married. This is like the backstory. T.H.C. is going to talk about it.
Right.
So they had the official wedding because they got married while they were in the military. However, I roll up in here and all I see is this clear stuff on the back of his ear. And I'm like, what did he... Is that a tattoo?
Yes, it is.
So,
yes, it is.
That is what we're talking about. Because keep it in mind, I have not talked to this man since last Wednesday. We were in the studio, and I was like, so what you got going on? He was like, I'm going to be gone. I'm like, what you mean gone? Family's flying in town. Son's getting married. I'm going to be MIA.
Yes.
So that's the last I heard. And then I see him, and he's got a tattoo. I'm like, did we go to a wedding? Is this some hangover type stuff mixed with like wedding crasher? So T.H.C., the floor is yours because I just got to know. Because we ain't talking just like tattoo on the hand or like, you can't hide that unless you wear headphones or a hat.
Correct.
So please, the floor is yours.
That's why today I was walking around the office today with a hoodie on.
Yeah.
I was just keeping it up. I was trying to keep it out here. Got a little warm, so can't wear the hoodie right now. So I took the hoodie off. It was like, man, I don't know who's going to see it. Yes, I do. I have a tattoo on the side of my neck. If you can see it in that camera.
You got to lift your headphone up. There you go. Yeah.
Back here.
Yep.
And growing up, me and my sisters, when we were in school, you got your permission slip. Your mom had to sign a permission slip.
Yeah, yeah.
So my mother signed all our permission slips. She also signed all my nieces, all my nephews' permission slips when they were going there. And my mom had a very unique way of signing her name. She would sign her name, and then right at the end of the name, she would put this little smiley face. Little smiley face would be right there, and she would draw it on. And it would be, you could go back to report cards all the way back to the 80s. And you would see this smiley face behind that.
That was her signature.
That was her thing. We knew if it wasn't signed by her, if it didn't have that, then it wasn't signed by her.
Man, you couldn't forge her signature at all.
Nope. So all of my nieces, my niece, my nephew, my sister, like we all got together and they were like, first it was crazy because me and my sister were older. I just, I'm about to be 50 here. So it's like, yeah. Anyway, but we're a little older, so when the two young ones are talking us into getting a tattoo.
Okay, so hang on. So I gotta backtrack this.
Go ahead.
So, what is this? Was this before wedding? After wedding? So.
Okay, we had just got things set up at the wedding place. We went through rehearsal up as a venue. We got done with all that. Everything was brought up. Everything was in there. We were coming back. Like I said, we was going back and forth, city to city to city to city. People were in different Airbnbs. We were moving different stuff.
Yeah, because it ain't like you just had like 5 family members that showed up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They came deep.
Polynesians their one family is 5 people at the minimum.
Right.
But so we're in there and we're like, okay. We're back and forth. We get done. Everything. People are tired. Everybody's tired. We have been up since 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right. This is day before wedding.
Day before wedding.
Okay.
So, day before the wedding, we're walking and I'm hanging out with my sister. I'm hanging out. We're all calming down. And then my niece just looks at me and she's like, "Uncle, let's do something spontaneous. Let's do this." Boom. And she actually had the piece of paper when my mom redid it. She was like, "Just draw the happy face." Boom. Next thing I know, me, my sister, my niece, my nephew, we're down at the tattoo parlor shop. And we're standing there. And I'm trying to think of everything I could think of to try to get out of this. Like when we were driving there, like my sister in front, she was doing the same thing. My sister looked, she was like, look, there goes laser tag. That's spontaneous. We can do that. We were trying to get, us old people was trying to get, we were like, okay, this is what young people do. When they get spontaneous, they do that.
But y'all are the older, why couldn't you just say no?
Because
I'm sure it's easier said than done. I know I got family, if they're watching, they're going to be like, Twitty, you wouldn't be able to just say no.
Once they showed, okay, for one, when she showed me what it would have been, and I'm like, oh my, I mean, that makes sense. Because all of us, as far back as me and my sister go, that when we were young, this was how my mom did it, to where my nieces, my nephews, like they're all in their 20s now. Like they're all coming up and they can remember that. Yeah. So it was kind of like, this was something that we both shared, even though we were 2 different generations.
Yeah, and it's from mom.
Right. And it's from mom. And it's from mom. So like we're sitting there, we driving there, and when we get to the tattoo parlor, I'm like, you know what? I bet they're going to be busy. Maybe we can only get one person, so it's going to take long. So by the time one person goes, or maybe 2 people go, by the time it gets to me, I can be like, you know what? We've been here too long already. Nah, I'm good. It looks good on you guys. Let's go.
Right.
Nope. Got there. Tattoo parlor was fantastic bunch of dudes. They had the tables ready. Each one of us had a table by ourselves at the same time.
What time was this?
Oof. I would say right around 4 o'clock.
4 p.m.?
4 p.m.
Somebody had to call in advance. I ain't been to every tattoo parlor in the Treasure Valley.
And see,
but 4 o'clock, I'm assuming this is on the weekend.
On Saturday.
Yeah, somebody called and
I don't know if it did or if this was just the universe that was pushing it to be like, nope, you getting this tattoo today. That's what's happening. Because everything that I was, like how you said, like I was thinking the same way. I'm like,
Saturday there's 4.
And there's no way. There's no way. We're going to walk in there and they're going to be like, well, we was taking walk-ins, but can you come back in 2 hours? Like that's what I was hoping for.
Because there's, how many of you?
It was 4. It was 4. One sit down going in. And as soon as we walked in, they took all 4 of us.
Yeah, that's the universe, though.
4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock.
It's nice in the Treasure Valley. It
was beautiful this weekend.
This is the time to start getting that tattoo. It's like the beginning of the new year. You start working out. When spring get here, this is when you start buying new clothes, get tattoos.
That's what they say. Sun's out, guns out, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's out there. People wearing tank tops, shorts, so they're like, yep, got to get the tattoos on.
Well, they missed that part. They were just sun's out, guns out.
That's
crazy. The tattoo spot was empty.
Oh, yeah. And these guys, bunch of professionals, all of them that was in there that was working very nice, very hygienic. Like, when you walk into a spot like that, you want to smell the alcohol pads. You want to smell stuff like that. Yep. And it was. They were very professional. I think they were called Burn the Boats. Burn the Boats tattoo.
I know exactly where
down
you're
there by that Costco. It was by that in Meridian because we had an Airbnb in Star, so we were going back and forth. And I think it was near Star, but I think it was in Meridian.
That's where I got my shoulder one done.
And those dudes, fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Like they came in there, we sat down. They were, and all of them were just like it was funny to watch the same tattoo like get passed around to three, four different tables. So the guy was coming back to me and he was like, all right. Like I was like, I couldn't think of an excuse fast enough before the gentleman had my consent already signed that he texted my number.
There's nobody in there.
Yeah, done. By the time I was like, okay, maybe this will work, he was like, sir, can you have a seat right here? I was like, oh, we already going.
4 tattoos. So did everybody get one behind the ear?
No, only I did. They
So okay, let's go sister, right? Because sister went
on the hand.
And 2 nieces or a niece and a nephew.
Niece and a nephew. So my nephew went on the hand, just like it's my sister's kid, so it's her son. So he got it on the hand here.
And
my
his
sister,
mom, which is your sister, they both got hand
on the hand. And then her daughter Kayla, which was my niece, the one that talked us into this, she got it on her arm.
Gotcha.
And it was next to the other. Like I think she has another tattoo that's here, and I think it's like some Hawaiian writing, but she has the smiley face right next to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I decided to put it here.
Yeah. Why? Again, this is why we're having this conversation, because I'm hearing about all this for the first. He didn't even tell me. I had to walk in here and just look at him.
I was at work with my hoodie on. You did not see it while I was
I walk
there,
up in here and I'm like, that's a what? I was like, there's no. Is that like oil in the back of his ear? I'm like, there's no way. And I'm like, oh, that's a tattoo. Mm-hmm. All right, so now
which I said too. Honestly, I was never gonna ever put a tattoo on my neck. That's what I told myself. I was like, I would never put one on my neck, ever. And then boom.
All it takes is your son having an official wedding, your sister.
I'm telling you, when me and my family get together, it's everything gets together, and it's just and we are a tight family. Like our family is tight, but when something like this gets crazy, hectic in the middle, like. This weekend was it was brutal. Like it was almost blank to me of how much we had to work that day. The tattoo part, like I don't even know how I didn't fall asleep on that dude's table.
You probably did.
I wasn't there long enough. This tattoo didn't take him but 5 minutes.
Right.
He was in there. But when I laid down, I was so tired from moving stuff. I laid down on the table.
Because you were up at 6 that morning, and this is 6, so this is already 12 hours.
Yeah.
And anybody that has set up a wedding knows that 12 hours ain't.
And it goes by.
It ain't light.
Nope.
That's a hard 12 hours.
Yep. And we're out in Emmett. So we're up the hill, down the hill, and we have to go down the hill. And it's that one curvy hill that goes very pretty scenery, because when you come up there and you can see all of it.
Drive, half the day was driving.
Yes.
Because how many back and forths did you have to make?
6.
Yeah. That's easily from your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's at least a 30.
Yeah, because it's 40, 45 minutes. It's 40, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, you're like 30, 40.
Yeah.
Jeez. Uh-huh. All right, sorry. So why did you go behind the ear?
So I went behind the ear.
Neck.
I went behind the ear because I was a smart ass kid. I was a kid that was always getting, like my mom had a thing. She wasn't like a big slapper, a big puncher or nothing like that. My mom was a pincher and a flicker. And I don't know if anybody's had a mom that's a flicker. And when I say flick, like she would come up, if she heard something come out of my mouth that she didn't like, she would walk up, not say a word, and her fingers would get, you ever play like pencil fighting? And you pencil fight, and you used to take the pencil and you pull it back, but you try to pull it back just so you know it won't break, but when it hits, it's like, pow. She could do that with her finger.
Oh, that was my grandma. Which finger did your mom use?
The middle, every time. And she'd come up, but I wouldn't see it coming. I would just sit there and she'd pow, and she'd flick my mouth, and it would hurt. It would feel like I got. Was she? Because
my grandma did the same thing. Was your mom forward, or would she come from? Because my grandma did like Spider-Man.
Both. If this way was the worst.
Oh, because this way was momentum.
This way was sneak attack, because she could bring it up like I'm not even paying attention here. But if she was here like this coming down, then I knew it was coming. Coming down, she would get like that. Yeah. But coming up, she could always sneak it in.
Forehead was always from up above, and I don't get how her finger didn't hurt, because this is bone.
Yeah.
But my head would hurt more than my grandma's finger, and from underneath was lip, ear, nose.
See, and she'd flick, she'd poke, and there was 2 things. The main things was the flicking, and then the one that she did the most to me was the ear pulling. Now the ear pulling.
What? I
you ain't never got your ear pulled?
I did. I just never
my mom would take her fingernails.
Oh.
I mean, my ear was already pierced before I could even go get it pierced. Like they was like, hey, there's a hole here already. I was like, I'll tell you where it came from. So she would like my stance would be like this as a kid, just because she was on my ear. So when we came home, and it's crazy.
You got stuck like that?
Yeah, because it was just, this was what I was used to, because I was always like, oh, hey, and then it would just get ripped up. So, and it was always my left ear.
Okay.
My left ear was the most. So, and she would say the phrase, pepi akuli, which in Hawaii means stink ear, like you don't listen. So she would grab my ear and be like, pepi akuli, pepi akuli. My grandma used to do it to me. She carried it on from my grandma, came in here. So when we showed up to the house to show mom all the tattoos,
yeah,
like my sister went first, my niece went next, my nephew went next, my mom was sitting there and she's like, oh my God, like, you guys really did that, you really did that. And they go, and then they stop, right? And they went, Uncle Sean did it too. And she looked at me and she was like, really? You got a tattoo? And I was like, yeah. And she said, where'd you get it? Is it on, let me see your hands. And I was like, it ain't on my hands. She's like, well, where's it? Where is it? And I said, I turned around and I lifted up my ear and she goes, it's underneath your left ear. And I said, yeah, because this was my pepi akuli ear. This was the ear that you always grabbed. And she goes, so you put a smiley face there? I said, yeah, maybe next time when you grab me by my earlobe and you see that little smiley face, you might let go this time. Like, I never had a way to get you to let go before. And now if you see that tattoo, you might be, because she's still, I don't care how old I am, she's still like, it's
probably just a different, because you're probably taller than her, so it's just coming. She probably pulls you down now.
Yeah, but she still has the right to this day.
Oh, 100%.
To reach up and grab it. That's why I'm like, if you go and grab it now, you're gonna you'll see that little happy face that you used to draw on all of our stuff.
Try to give yourself a permanent bailout.
Yeah. I never had one back then, so I was like, maybe if I would have had something like that there, you could be like, why is that there? It's to make sure that you know we should smile right now.
You would be the one. Let's go get a tattoo for grandma and ma. And people, I was like, how can I make this work also for me? I want this to be a double deed. I want it to be, I love you, mom, but also lay off the ear, mom.
It's going to have a meaning.
Yeah.
It's going to have a meaning. It's going to have a little way to say, hey, because when I mean, like my nephew, he put it on his hand. So, and then he put his hand up to his mouth. So then it looked like a smile.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I seen that on Justice League or Batman versus Superman or whatever it was, and the Joker, Jared Leto, when he played the Joker, that's how he did that on his hand. I was like, all right, I'm good.
I like the meaning. Let me ask, when you did that, did your mom for a second get that little smile, smirky face, like, I like it, but you also ain't slick?
She grabbed my ear. I think that's what you was trying to get.
Yeah.
She grabbed it. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
She grabbed it and she held it up. And then I was like, and because it backfired. It backfired on me. Because now she wants to look at the happy face, so she has to hold it up now in order for her to see it. She's like, I got to hold it up now. So now she just, hey, Mom. Okay, I can see it. Thank you. It was supposed to keep you from doing that, and now I think it's causing it to happen. But.
Yeah, you need to keep tabs on how many more ear pulls are you getting now.
I can't even tell you how many I got in my childhood. That number is I couldn't even count that high. There's no way.
Funny, but overall, good wedding.
Oh yeah,
everything was nice.
Everything was nice. Everybody was down there. Got to see my pops. I ain't seen my pops in a while. We got to spend some time before. And then right after the wedding day, and everybody was done or whatever, and me and Pops got to go out do some fishing. And that's one thing. That's why I like living up here in Idaho. It's so peaceful on certain days.
Where'd you go?
Right here, Arrow Rock.
Oh yeah.
Went up to Arrow Rock. We just went up there because up there I can drive my car right to the lake. We opened up the back of my truck. We was casting our poles from the back of the truck. From the
back of the Yukon.
Yep. And that's how you got. That's what I love about this place up here.
You can, man. You can. Well, I'm glad you're alive. Good to see you.
Yes.
I really have. I didn't seen this man for 7 days until today.
Took some time off.
Did everybody leave, or is everybody still here?
Pops is still here.
Okay.
Son will be my son from in the Marine Corps. He'll be here until the end of the month.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna stay for.
I remember you saying he was coming back, but I wasn't sure if he got the temporary papers to come home for family wedding, but then had to bounce back.
Nope, he's here. As soon as he got into, we took off. We went up to the lake first because he was like, Dad, I guess like going camping and that fresh air and everything, it helps with jet lag. So he was feeling that coming back from North Carolina. So flying back in from North Carolina and everything. I did that.
A long haul.
I did that with Kylie too. When Kylie came in from the Middle East and she flew back home from the Middle East, she was like, Dad, we went camping.
Yeah.
Stayed out there for a night. And that way, because your sleep pattern's definitely going to be off. So you're going to be up at weird times of the night. So it's like, it's better if we're just out camping. We're sitting there. You wake up at 2:00 in the morning. So what?
That is true. That's smart. Well, I'm glad you're back. Glad we got the story. Now I understand. I really thought you had like the movie Hangover type deal where you just woke up and there was a tattoo.
And it was there.
I can't even lie to you, T.H.C, because you didn't say nothing at work.
Nope.
And I show up and I'm like, I did that before he get to the studio?
I did tell Todd. I think Todd was the only one I told because it was me and him this morning. Like it was me and him. Yeah, and I did tell Todd. I told Todd that.
Yeah, fair.
And I know when Brian and Zach, when they go and watch this, they're gonna be like, he has a what? Because I drove around with Zach all day.
Oh,
Zach's been with me all day. He don't even know yet. He might not know until this episode come out.
Man, I think he said he was 2 episodes behind, so he
really gonna be late.
It might be a month until
he really gonna be late.
Don't watch this and be like
Brian gonna be the same way, huh, Brian? You gonna be like, he got
Brian
a what?
On Thursday gonna hit you with you got a what?
Uh-huh.
All right, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week. Like I said, I'm sorry. I was going to talk about my vacation, but when your co-host comes back from 7 days with a tattoo in the back of their ear, you got to ask. And y'all can't see it because I bet you if I wouldn't have said anything, you wouldn't have said anything on camera. I feel like
no, I wouldn't have.
See, yeah,
I wouldn't have.
See how he doing, y'all?
I'm not even like that. I was gonna wait to see how long it took you to notice. No, and in a second, it was as soon as you walked in.
I mean, you have a tan, but you don't have anything black on your face.
Right.
And it's got that clear second skin, so it's just glistening.
Yep.
I was like,
you can't leave it on for 5 days.
Yeah, I was like, that's either some shiny oil, which what oil was you changing that you had to go behind your ear, or that's like
that's happened before. I've came up with like grease marks and stuff on the bed. How did I get that up there?
I was like that, or you got some baby oil or Vaseline on the back. And I'm like, but why are you putting it on the back of your ear?
Right.
Like I was gonna ask you something regardless.
Well, we'll get into it. We'll get back up into it again when you come in on the next one.
Yeah, we'll come in if you know what? How about this? Get in the comments if you want to hear the positive side of my vacation. Get in the DMs if you don't know what I mean by that. This is your first one. Go back. Last two, because I went on vacation, but I talked about the stuff I didn't like about vacation. But until next time, I'm Twitty. That's Tatted T.H.C.
Tatted.
Thought it was going to get you off the hook with moms, and now she's going to be pulling that ear
all the time now. Yep.
Mom might be visiting you more often just to see that.
Just to pull it. Yep.
I'm Twitty. That's T.H.C. Till next time, we out.